What happened to Sebastian Rogers? Welcome to Trevor's Tarot Astrology and Spirituality. First off, a huge thank you to everybody who's subscribed to the channel, who likes, watches, and comments on the videos, who promotes the channel in any way whatsoever. Huge, huge thank you. Sebastian Roberts disappeared on February 15th, 2024 from Hendersonville, Tennessee. He'd gone to bed that night, and the next morning he was not in his bedroom. Uh, he was autistic and on the spectrum. He apparently walked on his toes, so he has a very unique gait to the way he walked. He was living with his mom and his stepdad at the time. His biological dad has said several things. Uh, Amongst the most notable to me is he said that the FBI should take over the case. He thought people were stealing the missing persons posters. Um, Another interesting fact in this case is that apparently Sebastian did not like to walk around barefoot or be cold, yet all of his shoes were accounted for, and he left without a coat. And this was February. So let's just kind of get a feel for what's going on here and see if we can't dig down on some details. I have a list of questions and we'll kind of see where the cards lead us, though. So, what do we need to know about the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers? To know about the disappearance of Sebastian. So, the Hermit card flew out, isolation, being alone, but also the lanterns. What sticks out to me here, needing to shed a light on this um, story, these types of stories, particular Sebastian. So his biological father said that he didn't want to live with his mom and stepdad. Some people have speculated that his stepdad hit him with a belt at one time. And people on the spectrum can react differently to different things. So um, I'm not entirely sure what his reaction to that would be. Okay. Get the Seven of Pentacles, seeds being planted, sleepless nights and anxiety in the environment around. I don't know if he was having problems sleeping leading up to this event. Messages about money coming forward. Circles of support around money. A lot of pentacles here. Being at a crossroads. Juggling money, finances. Lots of pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings around finances. Okay, the Devil card. mis and disinformation, abuse of power, deception, could be addictions. Somebody's not telling the truth about something. When we get to the King of Cups, empathy, the energy just overall feels pretty heartbreaking. It's like seeds were planted, life was viewed as a crossroads, and I don't think he was viewed internally with much empathy. I think externally from the family, that is, perhaps they people viewed him a little bit more truthfully, like in the sense of how he really was. I think sometimes when families live with people that are on the spectrum, they start to forget that they're on the spectrum and they start to treat them as if um, they should react like somebody who's not on the spectrum. Truth is, we all react differently to different things. Doesn't matter whether you're on the spectrum or not. People have different reactions to different things. So, a very feels very dark. Uh, Something about money and being at a crossroads and messages coming forward about money. I don't know why there's so many pentacles here. Juggling money, circles of support around money, or perhaps the lack of money. And the devil card in particular is disturbing in this position because it's like dishonesty, right? We don't know the whole story um, here. And then the sleepless nights and anxiety, it could be referring to him before his disappearance or currently. Well, Reed, I have a feeling he's no longer with us, but being wounded in battle. Yeah, this is the minor arcana death card. Someone knows the truth. Let's ask the question whether he's still here. I have a feeling he's not. He's been missing for over a year, few months. He'd be 16. Well, maybe that answers the question there. So I don't think he's still with us. Okay. So as always, these readings are for see, and I cut that at the mine, the Five of Cups, which is about loss too. Um, Readings are for entertainment purposes only. People are innocent until proven guilty. I just want to ask a couple questions. Is is the mother being truthful about his disappearance? Is the mother being truthful about his disappearance? I feel like she suspects something happened. think she suspects that something happened. I don't know if she knows for sure. And the seeds have been planted. There's something going on in the house that makes her question whether this is him just leaving. Again, I don't know if the stepdad or her are big drinkers, but I get that sensation that there might be some substances involved. It might be as innocent as alcohol. It might be something else. Get the King of Pentacles, something about money. I don't know if they felt like he was a burden. I don't get that feeling. The full card, uh, new beginnings, new energies in the environment around. She knows the truth, I think. The truth's at the center of the reading. The Ace of Swords. Yeah, the end of a cycle. We have the beginning and then the beginning, the truth, and the end. The beginning, the truth, and the end. That's pretty definitive to me. Again, here she is, I think, the Queen of Swords. She's being consistent. There are some discrepancies reported in her statements, but sticking to the story as it is right now. Again, more issues with money, the Four of Pentacles, stability, like, and yeah, again, Nine of Swords, sleepless nights. I think she's the one that's not sleeping well. So something happened. She suspects something, and I think what she suspects is the truth of what happened, and that's causing her some anxiety and some sleeplessness. I think we probably can figure out why. Um, she holds the key, but she's being very deliberate about how she speaks about this. Again, I think she knows the truth. It has something to do with money, but I don't think it's in a typical way. So some sort of financial security, a new beginning, and then the end. It's like his life started, then this happened, and then this is the end. And then circles of support and celebrations, but makes me think about substances. Wonder if substances weren't how somebody was getting some money. With the temperance angel underneath and the Four of Cups. Whatever she's saying, I don't think she's being completely honest. For entertainment purposes only. You certainly don't want to cause her more pain than she already has. We get the Four of Wands, families, again, lots of money, unlikely partnerships, guardrails, intergenerational relationships. The Queen of Wands, this sort of fieriness. I think there might have been some arguing going on in the house. We get the Hanged Man, which is about pausing and suspension. And then we get the Chariot card, which is about movement. Okay. So is she being honest? I think that question's a little bit trickier than what those cards indicate. I'm not sure she feels safe, but I think she knows the truth. So And I don't think I think the truth is going to surprise a lot of people if it's discovered. Okay, so what do we need to know about the stepdad? And I'm approaching this from a pretty bare bones position because I just think that's the best way to approach this. I know the story. I've never seen pictures of the mother or the stepdad or the father. Something about this. What do we need to know about the stepdad in relationship to Sebastian's disappearance? Sort of inevitability, the Three of Wands, waiting for one ship to come in, waiting for an opportunity, perhaps, sort of surprising new beginning. The fates turning the wheel of fortune in the upper right. Lots of burdens in the environment around. I think he felt like Sebastian was a burden. Something to do, messages about money, something he knows the truth as well. He's not willing to tell it. So this is the before terror. So the truth is stuck in the stone. But the way I'm interpreting that is he knows the truth, but is not willing to tell it, or is incapable of telling it as well. Could be a possibility. Choices were made. Fiery new beginning. Lots of fire here. There's three. You have the Ace of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. And then the Three of Pentacles. Again, circles of support around money. So something's inevitable. There was something about money, messages about money, support around money, perhaps some income stream that we don't know about. Choices were made that led to money, which led to what happened. Like the money is not unrelated, but I don't think it's directly related. And then we have a surprising new beginning, uh, fiery new starts, lots of anger. We get the truth. Also, the three aces in the environment around. It's a lot of newness. Um, and then a 10, which is the end of the cycle. Lots of heavy burdens in the environment around. I don't know if there's a lot of financial stress. You get the Queen of Swords. This kind of feels like the mother's energy. Knight of Pentacles, again, something coming forward about money, some sort of discovery. Families and reunions. The family here's running in from the cold, which is an interesting imagery compared to Sebastian left the house on a cold night without coat or shoes. We get the courts, possibly the church, but I think the courts, and again, more anxiety. The mother knows something. And then we get Um, it's an interesting imagery. It's a man, a woman, and a child getting in the boat, the Six of Swords, to head out on the ocean or on the water. I don't think like, the family kind of knows what happened. It's just this is what my instincts say to ask. Is stepdad or mother involved in anything, any money-making project that would have been illegal? Were they deeply in debt we don't know about? So gambling, drugs, I think drugs. I think it's one of those things. Gambling, drugs. Got the right track here. Yeah, I think get the Wheel of Fortune again. And again, the Six of Swords heading out on the water. Bombshells and surprise. Something's going to be surprising about the mother and the stepdad. Queen of Wands and the environment around. I think they're being investigated. Five of Pentacles being left out in the cold, literally, I think has a meaning here. And also poverty, feeling impoverished. You know, you might not look in broke when you're broke, right? Especially if money's coming in and out very quickly because of things like gambling or drugs. Right? Strength in the environment around. Also, I'm drawn to the imagery here, the face half lion, half normal. It's like being two-faced. Um, the outward appearance doesn't match the reality. And more messages about money, the Knight of Pentacles. It can't, something's going on there. The Four of Wands celebrations, and the Queen of Swords again. So the fates turning, leaving them out in the cold. We get the Queen of Swords. Logic, consistency. They're trying to be consistent with their stories. I think they'll probably slip up. Everybody always does. Things coming forward about money and surprising details. Celebrations. Passion, fiery arguments. Queen of Wands. Heading out onto the water. Strength. Not necessarily know that the water is actually literally water here. Temperance, King of Cups, and the Ten of Wands, heavy burdens. And again, seeds being planted, defending oneself. Okay, I feel like I have an idea. Okay, this is kind of matching what I have from the scrying. With Sebastian's death and accident. Seeing it feels like a rapid heartbeat. Um, like he ingested something, can't sleep. Like perhaps there were drugs in the house and he ingested them unknowingly, like some sort of stimulant, something of value, coming forward about money, bombshells and surprise. It's going to surprise us all. We'll come forward. There'll be a fiery message. There's arguments going on. Yeah, addictions, toxicity, drugs, the magician, feeling a feeling of invincibility, not by Sebastian, but by people around. One plan doesn't work, try another around money. And yeah, it's like his heart gave out. It's like I feel like he had a heart attack after ingesting something unknowingly, ingesting it, not on purpose. Underneath walking away, yeah, deceit, deception, happened in the house, spying the camp, things coming forward about money. I think that's what happened. Did he die of a drug overdose? Drug overdose, Ten of Pentacles. It's the inheritance card. Yeah, something fiery coming forward. I don't like I feel my heart feels like it's just pounding. Drug overdose. What would make a 15-year-old kid have a heart attack? Feels right. Alex, switch Texas. So feeling his heart beating like this, seeing like a manic kind of state. Certainly was unintentional. He didn't know what was going on. Drug overdose. That's a yes card, the star card. There was a lot of pleading, a lot of trying to save him. The Knight of Wands, fire, the truth, the ace of swords, a lot of deception, deceit, dishonesty, the environment around, things behind the scenes that we can't see. A spy in the camp, somebody in the house, somebody in the house, life flashing before your eyes, Six of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune again, and the Queen of Wands again. Um, there's a lot of pleading, trying to save him. Something happened that we don't know about. Um, and a lot of fire. I don't think it was arguing. I think it was like fear, anxiety. The Nine of Swords kept popping up. This fear, this anxiety. They couldn't let it be found out what had happened. The Six of Cups, the High Priestess, and then the truth, the Ace of Swords. What was going on in the house was deceit and deception. Um, the King of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know that the parents were necessarily using drugs For entertainment purposes only, and people are innocent, this is just a tarot reading. I feel like maybe they were selling drugs and somehow or another some medications got mixed up. He ends up taking something he wasn't supposed to take, and it leads to heart attack, something along those lines. They were juggling a lot of finances. I think the finances are the key here. It's inevitable, yeah. Addictions, toxicity, mis and disinformation. It's going to end up in the courts, though, so that's good. Um, Bombshells and surprises again. Um, this is what I think happened, and this is what um, cards gave me a little bit of a twist on what I had originally thought, but and again, for entertainment purposes only, it's a tarot reading. It's my psychic impressions. I can be right. I can be wrong. I think it was an accident. I think he ingested something that caused his death, something being an illicit substance of some kind. It could be, uh, it could be a narcotic, like a street drug. It could also be prescription drug, but illegally obtained that was being used to make money. I think there were more than just the parents involved in this, in the sense of the moving of the drugs for money. And then I think when this happened, I think there was a lot of pleading and begging, and it sounded like feels like a very horrific scene for the mother in particular. And then it was decided that the other people involved would help take him away so that they could report him missing, because they had to do something, right? They couldn't be too suspicious to let it go days. So they just reported him missing right away. And I don't think they actually were using drugs in the house. And I think that's why they weren't worried about the scene. Um, but they forgot to take his shoes and they forgot to take a coat, in the haste. That's what it feels like to me. And then uh, the other people that were involved in the illegal activities took care of his body somehow. Um, I I do get the impression that it's just a matter of time before all of this comes out. I don't think this is going to be a 20-year-old cold case. I think this is going to be solved in the next 3 to 5 years. Once they find the body, then it's all going to be put together. And I think they will find the body. If I don't think it's in a body of water, I think that's this was a metaphor. I think his body's probably uh, in a very rural spot in Tennessee, very wooded area, was probably concealed. Okay, that's what I think. It's a sad case. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he's alive and he's well. I don't get that, but I hope that's what's real. I don't think so. I don't think it was an intentional thing. I think it was a crazy set of circumstances, and that's why it's been hard to decipher. Again, people are innocent. This is just a tarot reading and my psychic impressions, so don't take it as fact. Um, I'm right more than I'm wrong, but I feel like I think it's going to surprise a lot of people because I don't think people suspect that activity was going on in the house. but I think there's some gambling debts, something about money, needing money. But I don't think it like went through bank accounts, so I don't know that there's like a good trace of it. But yeah, anyhow, um, lots of sad stories in the world. Take care of yourself and be healthy. I'll be back with another video soon.